What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about the most nutritious terrestrial plant in the world. Hold tight. Alright guys, so welcome to my health food store. This tree sitting here behind me was literally the catalyst that got me excited about edible landscaping back in 2010, 2011 when I was a standard landscaper, and I found out about this tree, which is Moringa. I started going nuts. I started going to local meetings. I learned about the tree. Before you know it, I was selling these trees on Craigslist, selling these trees, to local people in the paper. I probably sold about 2,000 of these trees before I did anything else in the edible industry. Let's check this thing out. So behind us is Moringa oleifera. This tree is native to India and grows like a weed here in Florida. This tree took 26 degrees or 24 degrees for 6 hours 2 years ago. It came back from the roots. It thrives in our crappy sandy soils. It kind of thrives on neglect. So typically speaking, when we cut back our entire market garden, when we did our chop and drop here a couple of weeks ago, this got completely whacked down to a couple of feet. Commercially, they grow these trees, a foot or two apart and just let them get a couple of feet tall. And they're constantly harvesting this new growth. And you can see here, this is where I cut the tree back. This is all that new fresh growth. And I prefer the leaves actually dried and powdered. I like it really as a supplement, but this can be eaten fresh. And this tree's also been called the horseradish tree. It has a little bit of a spice to it. So you can eat the fresh leaves like this. You can eat the dried leaves. You can cook and eat the pods. You can eat the flowers. You can use the roots. One of my favorite places here in Florida is Echo, and Echo's doing a lot of work with this tree. They're bringing this into third world countries. They're literally fixing malnutrition. So, I look at this as having like a health food store in my backyard. This tree is, has 25 times more iron than spinach, 10 times more vitamin A than carrots, 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, 2 times more protein than yogurt, 4 times more fiber than oats, 17 times more calcium than milk, 15 times more potassium than bananas. So, talk about a superfood here. And shout out to my buddy Kendrick with Numa Nursery. He's in the St. Pete area. He actually gave me the nutritional sheet for this one, because if you search Moringa, you're going to get like 10, 20 different sheets. That one definitely seems to be the most accurate. He actually sells oil from the seeds, powdered leaves, teas, all kinds of cool stuff. He has a Moringa tree growers co-op throughout the Tampa Bay area where he'll grow these trees in your yard. He'll prune them. He'll harvest the leaves. I think you even get a portion of it. So it's like a win-win. Check out Kendrick. I'll put a link in the description down below. But like I just started mentioning, this tree is a superfood. It grows like a weed. You can't kill it. Like I said, I'll cut this back. This is also biomass. So, in a agroforestry system, if you can't get to harvesting and drying the leaves, you can just chop and drop this. All this nutrition in these leaves is just going to go back to the plants in the soil. So, talk about an easy tree to grow. I can easily just cut back this whole head here. It's also a very soft wood, so it snaps. I would say when the tree gets a little bit on the bigger side, it actually tends to get a little bit ratty looking. So keeping the trees pruned and smaller is definitely the better way to having a more ornamental tree, especially if you're going to be planting this thing out in the front yard. But I look at this as kind of like the new superfood. You guys probably heard of acai. Moringa is kind of the hot one today. The powder for this, from this tree, when this first started becoming popular, was like 40 to 60 bucks a pound. I don't even know where it's at today. But we're talking about, an expensive superfood too. So not only is this nutrient dense, this is going to heal our bodies. This is amazing. Typically, I like to grow this from seed. You can grow this from cuttings. I noticed you don't get as strong as a tree long term. It seems like the trees grown from cuttings tend to blow over a little bit more. Echo even has their own variety called like the PK1, one that they've named and selected on their own. So Moringa, absolutely amazing. I highly suggest if you're in an area, even where you can't grow this, maybe growing this as an annual because it grows so quick. Like I said, this is just a couple of weeks of growth. So, potentially if you're in a more northern climate, getting this started in the greenhouse, towards the end of your winter, getting it out, you could harvest off of it a couple of times, just in that summer. If it dies back, it dies back. No big deal, right? So Moringa oleifera, literally having a health food store in your backyard. I hope you guys enjoyed this short video on Moringa. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do so. Hit that bell to stay notified. Most importantly, pound dirt.